Look at that. Bench day. Yep, I have my physique check, you know. This workout wasn't what I was thinking it was going to be, but I feel like that's become a pattern um, during the third cycle of 531. But it doesn't matter if the workout's bad or good, you still push through. Alright, let's get into it. Now we start with the first warm up, which is stretching. Um, you know, just one step at a time. It's not really like that big of a stretching session. I want to start small because if I start too big, I'm just gonna burn out and then refuse to stretch altogether. So like this is a stretching for upper body mostly. Yeah, it's important to stretch so you're less likely to get injured when you're performing your big compound movements. All right, now we're getting into push-ups. I'm pretty sure I did 17 here. This is just to warm up the chest and the triceps for when I do the actual bench press. All right, now we're getting to everybody's favorite lift, the bench. All right, we're starting with the bar 45 for 7. Just to get used to the technique. Well, I mean, you're already getting used to the technique when you bench all the time, but like with the bar, it's easier to like control, I guess. But I mean, it could be easier to control with like any other movement. Right now, we're doing 145 for 5, and the rest of these reps, these 5 reps, are gonna be paused just to build like more strength. Of course, I still do touch and go, but I don't know. I feel like this makes more sense. You're having a full stop at the bottom, and then you're pushing with everything. You're not really using momentum. Okay, now 165 for 5. Same deal. I do the wishy-washy thing with my arms, and then I get into position. I use a slight arch and a wider grip because my arms are long and I need to make the bench easier for me because this has been the movement that's been really lacking. Alright, now we're getting to the top set, 185 for 5. Now, I've noticed with every single time I start a new 531 thing, the first week is always the hardest. Yeah, the first week is always the hardest because right now I'm doing 185 for 5. I was trying to do it for 6, but that last one really got to me. So I never really got, into the mindset of doing another rep, especially without a spotter. Because at my peak, I was doing 205 for 5. And we're done with that. I take a breather. Alright, now we're doing the first accessory, close grip bench with 140 for 10. I did like 5 sets of these, but I'm lazy. I'm a lazy bum and only recorded 2 of those sets. But like that's a lot of work. So I just it makes sense to only record like 2, in my opinion. All right, so these ones, so this accessory, you're using a closer grip. You're using closer grip than usual, and that works more of the triceps. It still works more. It's still like mostly a chest movement, but you know, I think this exercise really helps with lockout because I noticed when I bench, it's hard during the middle portion of the bench, during the lockout portion of the bench. So I feel like this movement will help, increase tricep strength. All right, I think that's my last set. I don't know. I don't care. Either way, I did 5. That's what matters. All right, now we're going to accessory to skull crushers. This is also a tricep dominant movement. Like literally, the only thing I do for chest as of right now is bench press. Like, I could pull up like a bunch of pictures of me when I was smaller. My chest was never really an issue. Like, it was always big. It's my arms that are the problem. And that makes sense because they're long, so I'll have to fill out my frame a lot more, gain a lot more weight than someone who was shorter arms. But I'm not using that as an excuse, so, that's why I go hard. All right, so we're on our second set. Yeah, these next 2 sets are pretty much the same thing. My form does get a little wonky at the end, but yeah. Let's just talk about life, my life for like the last few minutes of the video. Man, like I never knew this much about people until senior year. Because I'm 18 and I'm a senior in high school. We have 2 weeks left. And everybody that I thought was what I thought was not what I thought. was not who I thought. And I'm like, wow. How are some of these people talking to each other normally? Like, man. And then there's so much, like, there's so much drama between people. Like, my class of 2024, they don't like each other. Like, they hate each other, but they're still talking to each other like they're best buddies and stuff. Like, man, it confuses me. And I mean, I personally don't hate anybody. Like, I think high school is way too short to be hating people that you'll probably never see again. But there are some people that I just don't like. But I never let that get to me. I push through. It's just man. I just want to see where these people are gonna be in like 10 years. Like these certain people. I'm not naming names. But it's been a trip. Yeah, I've never got bullied. Well, never really got bullied. But I guess that's fine. All right, here's my last set, the worst set of the exercise, and that's basically it for today. Yep, I put it down and I'm done. Bye. Squats coming.